ராமானுஜதயாபாத்திரம் ஞானவைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம் லக்ஷ்மீநாதசமாரம்பாம் நாதயாமுனமத்யமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சாரியபர்யந்தாம் வந்தே குருபரம்பராம் யோ நித்யமच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये माता पिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्धना भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वय भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसार कुलशेखर योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणु परकाल यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम् उल्लास पल्लवित पालित सप्तलोकी निर्वाह कोरकितनेम कटाक्षलीलां श्रीरङ्गहर्म्यतल मङ्गलदीपरेखां श्रीरङ्गराज महिषीं श्रियम् आश्रयामः आकारत्रय सम्पन्नाम् अरविन्द निवासिनीम् अशेष जगदीशीत्रीं वन्दे वरदवल्लभाम् कल्याणानाम् अविकलनिधिः कापि कारुण्य सीमा नित्या मोदा निगम वचसां मौलिमन्दारमाला सम्पत् दिव्यां मधुविजयिनः सन्निधत्तां सदा मे शैषादेवी सकलभुवनः प्रार्थना कामधेनुः. Namaskaram to all the astikas who have gathered on this Punya Tithi of Ekadashi. Whenever I mention Ekadashi, some astikas get confused because in Ekadashi also we have Smarta Ekadashi and Vaishnava Ekadashi. So we are such an old civilization, even in the Tithi we have brought the differentiation. So those of them who are observing Ekadashi today, kudos to that. Who will observe tomorrow, kudos to that. Who will never observe, for that also fine. So in the last few months, I think this is the 5th lecture in that series. First 3 and the 4th one, half of it. So close to 3.5 lectures, we had the Saubhagyam to discuss Purusha Suktam. The previous lecture, the remaining half, and this lecture, we are discussing Sri Suktam. Sri Suktam may take another lecture or a lecture and a half. So, Radhacha? Oh. So, we have Sri Suktam that needs to be discussed. I gave an introduction, an avatarika to the Sri Suktam lecture. Why Suktam? Who is Shri? Shri Suktam together. What does that word Shri mean? What are the functionalities of Shri? So on and so forth. That said, we discussed about the greatness of Mahalakshmi through Ramayanam. Kavyam Ramayanam Kritsnam Sitayas Charitam Mahat. Srimad Ramayanam should have been called Sita's Charitram, says Valmiki. After introspecting, he had already given the name Ramayanam. But later he introspected and said, I should have called it Sita's Charitram. Like how some of them will start introspecting from the day after. So, Sitayas Charitam Mahat. So he says, I should have called it Sita's Charitram. So Ramayanam in itself talks about the greatness of Sita Mahalakshmi. Same is the case with the other stotras that we have celebrated of Mahalakshmi. What are they? Sri Suktam appears in the Vedas. Followed by that, we have had a Sri Stuti in Vishnu Puranam. We have had a Ramayanam itself talk the greatness of Sita. We have 2 Lakshmi Sahasranamams. One the traditional one followed by the Acharyas, the other one that comes in the Puranam. Then we have a traditional compendium of 108 names of Mahalakshmi called as Lakshmi Ashtotram. Besides this, we have a large work, collection of work called Lakshmi Tantram. Besides this, we have the Sri Suktis of the Acharyas. Adi Shankara Bhagavatpada sang the praise of Mahalakshmi through his composition Kanakadhara. Then we have Yamunacharya called Alavandar in the Sampradaya Parampara, who gave us the work called Chatushloki, 4 shlokas. Then we have had Bhagavad Ramanuja, who through his Gadyatrayam, especially in Sharanagati Gadyam, wrote a Churnika on Mahalakshmi. Then we have had the great Acharya called Kuresha. In the Sampradayam, he's called Kurattalvan. He gave us a work called Sri Stavam. His son called Parashara Bhatta gave us a work called as Sri Guna Ratna Kosham. Then we had a work by Vedanta Deshika called Sri Stuti. Vedanta Deshika's son Kumara Varadacharya gave us a work called Lakshmi Shatakam. Then came another poet come devotee called as Arasanipalai Venkatadhwari Kavi, who gave us a work called as Lakshmi Sahasram. So we have 2 Sri Stutis, we have Sri Gunaratna Kosham, Sri Stavam, we have got Lakshmi Shatakam, Lakshmi Sahasram, Lakshmi Sahasranamam, version 1, version 2, Sri Suktam, Ramayanam, Lakshmi Tantram, and so on and so forth. So all these sing praise of Mahalakshmi. In that we are discussing the Khila Bhagam of Rigvedam called as Sri Suktam. So Sri Suktam appears as the appendix portion of the Rigvedam. So it is called Sri Suktam. In Sri Suktam, how many mantras are there? There's a mantra which goes like Yashuchihi Prayato Bhutva Juhuyadarjyamanvaham Shriyaf Pancha Dasharcham Cha Shrikamaha Satatam Japet. Shriyaf Pancha Dasha, 15 mantras. Pancha Dasharcham Cha Shrikamaha. Whoever venerates Mahalakshmi, next time they will come in a better car. So, Juhuyadajyamanvaham. So, now we have to discuss the first mantra. In Rigvedam, we generally call it Rik. That is the term. Hiranya Varnam Harinim Suvarna Rajatas Rajam Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmim Jatavedo Ma'avaha. We discussed 4 Padapadarthams in this Rik. We have not completed the Rik, but I will give you, how many of you are coming for the series of lectures? This is the 5th one for the first time. First time. So I'll give you a brush up, don't worry. So, Jata Vedaha, He Agni. Jateti Vedaha, Jata Vedaha. Agni is called Jata Veda. Time and again in the mantras of the Vedas, you will come across this word Jata Veda, because primarily the Karmakanda portion of the Vedas is meant to perform Shrauta rituals. It is meant to perform those yajnas through fire. So every now and then you will get this word Jata Veda, Jata Veda. But be very careful. This is where I told you in the last lecture also. It is tough, but we have to go through the commentaries only of our traditional acharyas. Why am I saying this? It is high, there is high probability that you will be misled. There will be one person, he will want to do a doctorate. He would have never undergone a training either in the language nor in the scriptures. He will just see somewhere he wants to take up a unique topic. He will take up the presence of Mahalakshmi in the Vedas. He will take something. First line he'll say, Vedas are largely patriarchal. They don't celebrate women. Then immediately 4 people will hold placards. All eyes on Sri Suktam. There will be one. Now that will go viral. So easily we can be manipulated. See, when we do not know our own scriptures, we will be easily manipulated and misled. Why am I telling this? Because it is very, very important to understand the message of the Vedas. At the superficial level, it may appear as if the Vedas are talking through Agni. But if you go deeper, you will understand it talks to the Antaratma of the Agni. It talks to that one which holds the Agni. It is not talking to the fire directly. Because if I say fire directly, somebody will take this clip, they will attach it with a Parsi person's discourse. The Parsi person would have said, we go to the fire temple, we worship fire. See, Hinduism borrowed thoughts from Parsi religion. Then there will be some other political leader who might have not even completed his degree, who would have bought his degree, especially in the state of Tamil Nadu. And he will say, see, that is why I told you through Bolan Pass and Khyber Pass, some people reached India and the south of India. So, these are all the things, repercussions of half-baked knowledge. So, Agni here means Narayana. He Agni, Lakshmi Pate. I'm reading the commentary. Jatam Svatasiddham Vedaha. Dhanam va jnanam va yasho va yasya sa jata vedaha. The one who grants us. I told you this in the last lecture. Dhanam va. Whatever form of wealth you want. Jnanam va. Because jnanam is also dhanam. Then Yashova, fame. Yasya sa jata vedaha. So jata veda, he Agni, he Antaratma to the Agni, he Lakshmi Pate, he Narayana, the one who grants us either wealth, knowledge in the form of wealth, just as wealth, fame as wealth, or the one who grants us Yashova, Yasya sa jata vedaha. He Agni, Swatasiddham Vedo Dhanam Yasya. Those of you who are new, you may be wondering, why is he reading? Those of them who have attended for the 4 lectures, they will explain the pain to you. I will read out the commentary. Just like that, talking all English jargons, the transcendental state. As you talk about Yam, Varun and Vayu, the things that falter at that level, I can't speak that way. I have not undergone the training. Then you're at the wrong lecture. Me avaha. He says, Mahyam Madartham Ahvaya. He Jata Veda, bring to me. Me avaha. Mahyam Madartham Ahvaya. Mama Sarvabhishta Sadhanataya Preshaya. Whatever I desire legitimately, underline that word, legitimately. Mama Sarvabhishta Sadhanataya. Sarvabhishta, whatever I desire legitimately, Sarvabhishta Sadhanataya, the one who grants me all of those. Sarvabhishta Siddhirastu, you must have heard of this. Sarvabhishta, Sarva Abhishta, whatever you desire, you will get legitimately. Put that word next to it. Evam Bhutam, because a person maybe from Iraq wants to throw some bomb, he will recite Sri Suktam, Sarvabhishta Siddhirastu. Can he do that? It should be legitimate. So, evam, why am I telling this? Because somebody will take this clip. So you mean to say you can do anything with the grace of Mahalakshmi? They will ask all irrelevant questions. So for them. So now I have to tailor make my speech to answer the comments and the questions raised in the YouTube. See what kind of May Avaha, bring all that prosperity to me. Now Jata Veda will ask, that fire will ask, okay, I will bring. Be very specific. Whom do you want? Hiranya Varnam. This is where the description begins. Hiranyasya Suvarnasyeva Varnaha Kantir Yasyastam Hiranya Varnam. Hiranyasya. Hiranya in Sanskritam means gold. Gold like. That is also very important. You should not just stop with gold, you should say gold like. We have heard many names with Hiranya. What are the names? Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. So the moment you have Hiranyaksha, okay, what will be the translation? Gold eyes. Correct? Now after reading this translation, what will the painter do? He will put gold paint in the eyes. After looking at the painting, what will your son or grandson ask? How can the metal gold be inside the eyes? Correct? You see the repercussion. Hiranya means gold and gold-like, which means the white portion in their eyes was not white, it was akin to yellow in color. That's all it means. See, we should have the ability to decipher our Puranas and Itihasas. They all come to us in the form of poetry. Poetry will have little or loads of exaggeration. So, Hiranyaksha means the one with gold-like eyes, which means yellow-like eyes. That's all. We should stop there. It doesn't mean gold was taken, some black ball was put inside it and fit into the eye. You cannot have all such eyes. One. Hiranyakashipu. What answer we may give? same example you extrapolate, you'll say that he had a body, a complexion which was akin to gold, which means akin to yellow. Which could be true because Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were around the region of Kashmira. Kashmir, Tibet, and China, they are one stretch. If you see, even in the connotation today, though it is not right, technically right to use the complexion color, we can't say black, white. But still, there is an underlying current of racism. So there is white, there is black, there is brown, and there is yellow. So this yellow could have been meant as Hiranya. So now you may ask, did they have Chinese traits? That I don't know. But Hiranya Kashipu, yellow like, gold like, there is another connotation. In Nrisimha Puranam, it is said that the father, Kashyapa Prajapati, was performing a yagam. Generally, for a yagam, you need to have seats. And seats for large yagams could vary, could go up till 5 in number. When there are 5 seats put for the yagam around that Vedika, Vedika is the place where you do, in English you call that altar. But it's not altar. Altar is a word used in the Christian era, found in the church. That altar may be slightly different, but for our understanding, let's call it Vedika. Around the Vedika, you will have 5 seats. The 5th seat will be gilded in gold. That 5th seat which is gilded or covered in gold is called Hiranyakashipu. The seat is called Hiranyakashipu. Nrisimha Puranam says when the father Kashyapa Prajapati was performing the yagam, this child who was born along with his brother, one of them crawled towards that seat and went and sat on the 5th seat. That very moment, the sages who had gathered for that yagam looked at that boy and said, Hiranyakashipu. Because he sat on Hiranyakashipu, he was called Hiranyakashipu. This is what Nrisimha Puranam says. Now, Hiranya here, I gave all these examples, but Hiranya means gold or gold-like. Hiranyasya suvarnasyeva. Su is a prefix. Su means something which is good. When Rama was woken up, Vishwamitra said, Kausalya Supraja. Praja means child. Supraja, good child. So Su is a upasargam. It means a prefix that denotes something which is good. Subhashitam. Bhashitam is speech. Subhashitam, good speech. Varnam, color. Suvarnam, good color. So gold is called Suvarnam. Suvarnam means good color. And you know what is the Sanskrita nama for silver? Durvarnam. As per dictionary, the word for silver is Durvarnam. So here, people along the coastal area will agree. If you live in Mumbai, Kolkata or Chennai, you can never maintain silver vessels. You will buy it like Utsava Murti, it will become like Moola Murti. So then they will say, yes, it is Durvarnam. Whereas gold will never become dark. Somehow silver gets oxidized that fast. So here, Hiranyasya Suvarnasya Eva Varnaha Kantir Yasyastam. The one who has got a kanti, radiance, resplendence, aura that is akin to gold is Hiranyavarnam. Second meaning, Swarnakantim, Hita Ramaniyam. What is the other meaning for Hiranyavarnam? Hita Ramaniyam. Very pleasing to the mind and heart. If you look at that color, certain colors we say, if you wear this, the dogs will chase. We say that, right? It is Hita Ramaniyam. This color is very pleasing to the eyes. Hita Ramaniyam. Hitatvam apekshitartha sadhakatvam ramaniyatvam prityanurupatvam. Look at the commentary. Commentaries are really beautiful. Hita Ramaniyam. Hitam means good. Ramaniyam means that which is very pleasing. Whatever you like need not be good to you. Correct? Moti chur laddu. You get that laddu full dabba. There is one sweet in Bengal. Obor Khobo. It's called Obor Khobo. If you can never stop with one, it is called have one more. The sweet's name is have one more. If you have one, you'll feel like having one more. It is very tasty to the taste buds. But just have the sugar testing machine next to you. You will see the numbers go up. You will see numbers which you wanted to see as marks in your school here. So the point is, what is good to the body, what good to your tongue, need not be beneficial to your body. There is one dish. In Kannada, we'll find that word out. In Tamil, it is called Pavakka Pitlai. ಓಕೆ ಫೈನ್. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಟರ್ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು, ಪಿಟ್ಲೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವೇ, ಅದೇನು ಗೊಜ್ಜು. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಸ್ವೀಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ನೆವರ್ ಆಡ್ ಜಾಗ್ರಿ ಆರ್ ಶುಗರ್, ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಟರ್. Okay, then what will happen? Your child will refuse to have this. Why? Because it is not tasty to the tongue, but it is very good for the body. How is Mahalakshmi? Is she like motichur causing bad to our health? No, no. Is she bitter like the bitter gourd? No. She is both hitam and ramaniyam. Hita ramaniyam hiranyavarnam. So, next, she is resplendent and she bestows good. Now, why is this name mentioned in the Vedas, Hiranyavarnam? Because one of the poets says there is a meaning, underlying meaning to it. The state of moksham. You know, all Vedanta lectures, they'll keep talking about moksham. And even in the movies, this moksh chahiye. Who is moksh? That boy. One boy is called moksh. If you move with that boy, he'll give you moksham. So that the point is moksham, the state of no return to this mundane world. It is called nasa punaravartate nasaha punaha avartate. You won't come back. So now the question is, sir, you're telling about moksham. How will moksham be? You won't come back. What will we do there? They will ask as if I have seen it. Now I have no experience of it. I have to tell you what Shastram says. Shastram says you will be next to Paramatma and you will be like Paramatma. See, that is the word you have to catch word. It is called Sarupyam. That attainment of the Jivatma like the Paramatma, which means that is called Sayujyam. Sayujyam, Samipyam, Sarupyam, Salokyam. So Sarupyam, you will be like him. How is he? Upanishad Chandogyam says, Tatha kapyasam pund apranaghat sarvayeva suvarnaha. Head to toe, he appears like blazing gold, fire. He appears like gold. Now when we say Sarupyam, the Jivatma will also be like him. We will also be gold in color. Why do we become gold in color? Asks the commentator. Because as per Shastram, is it getting very boring? Okay. So, it is called as Tatkratu Nyaya Vashena. Tatkratu Nyayam. Tatkratu Nyayam is at the nick of the moment when the Jivatma is about to depart from the body, whatever object or person your mind is engaged in, you will become that. Krishna talks about this in Bhagavad Gita. So imagine you're thinking of Mahalakshmi, who is Hiranyavarnam, gold-like complexion. So Shastram says, you will also become blazing fire, gold complexioned there, which means you will get moksham. Because only in moksham you have Sarupyam. Sarupyam means you will become like him. He is blazing fire, gold complexion. You will become like him, gold complexion. Why? Because you're thinking of Hiranyavarna Mahalakshmi. So Tatkratu Nyayam is applicable. The shlokam says, Yaste Rupam Upaste Shubham Prapannam Shriyam Haridrajam Tatkratu Nayena Savahet Amutra Janani Shriyam Haridrajam. So this is the shlokam. So what is the rik again? Hiranyavarnam, Harinim, Suvarna Rajatasrajam, Chandram, Hiranmayim, Lakshmim, Jatavedo Ma Avaha. So how did we approach this? We approach from the end. Jataveda, hey Agni, hey Antaryami to Agni Narayana, give her to me. Me Avaha, bring her to me, give her to me. Who is she? He asks. Then we say Hiranyavarnam, the one who is gold complexion. He says this gold complexion anybody can become. See, these days you get tall, you can even color your hair that way. So whenever I used to read Shastram, I thought this is applicable only in Shastram. Neelatoeta madhyastha vidyullekeva bhaswara. He's blue. When I went to Atlanta, one lady sat next to me. Full hair was blue. Full. So for me, it was as if I had studied the Vedic statement in the morning and I was seeing application here. So you can have red streaks. You know what? Who was that cricketer? Lasit Malinga. He used to look like Nisimhavataram to me. Curly hair, gold colored. So when we ask Jataveda Narayana, give Hiranya Varnam to me, Jataveda asks us to be specific. He says, don't say, see, if I have to talk to a certain person here in this room, I say, I would like to talk to a woman, then immediately 150 people will raise hands. Then I have to say, I have to talk to a woman who's wearing chudidar. Then 75 will bring it down, 75 will raise. Then I have to say, I have to talk to the woman who has got the chudidar with kalamkari print. 10 will bring it down. That kalamkari should be of Srikalahasti and not Machilipatnam. Then 5 of them will bring it down. So instead of asking that person's name, I'm coming down in a filtered down approach. So my question to Jataveda is Hiranya Varnam. Even Dwarapalakas are Hiranya Varnam in Vaikuntham. Then who is he? Who is she? You tell me specifically, asks Jataveda. Next padam comes Harini. I want to talk to bring that Hiranyavarnam to me, but that Hiranyavarnam should not be a Dwarapalaka, it should be Harini. So the meaning for Harini, list of meanings is given. Any Harini here? Daughter. Very good. So, at least some Harini in your house? You know that singer Harini? So, Harita Varnam, Haridrabam. So, either it could be green in color, okay, or that is one meaning, green complexion, Harita Varana Bhritya. This was the name of Kanchi Purna's grandfather, the Lord in a place called Dasharathi Pit. Have you heard of Dasharathi Pit? No? It is in the outskirts of Chennai, very close to Sri Perumbudur. Today it is called Nazarath Pit. That was called Dasharath Pit in the inscriptions. How it became Nazarath Pit is a different thing. Now there is a large temple. There the Lord is called Harita Varana. The Lord is called Harita Varana. He appeared as a green complexioned elephant. So, Harita Varnam, Haridrabham, Sarva Papa Harana Sheelam, the one who has got the ability to take all your papams away, is called Harini. Sarva Lakshana Papa Harana Sheelam, the one who has the ability to take away our papams. Bhagavan Nigra. Then what is papam? What is papam? What we are sitting here, sir. What is papam? Papa, sir. There are various things. Tamil la Papa na kuti. Papa, sir. You may be sympathizing with me or sympathizing with your own self for sitting here. That is also Papa. Papa in Sanskrit means sin. Okay. What is papam? Committing bad. Kumar Bhanu says committing bad. Next. Adharma is bad. Sin. What is that sin? Bad karma. Previous janma, sanchita karma we have got. Hiranmayi madam is telling, correct? See? Next. Which is against Shastram. Very good. You have come very close. Agnya chedi mamadrohi, says Krishna. Yatshastra vidhimutsrijyam vartate kamakarataha nasasiddhim avapnoti. So here the commentator says, he gives a definition for papam. Bhagavan nigraha eva papaha. Whatever Narayana doesn't like is papam. All this, everything will come. Narayana doesn't like all of this. Now, what do? We are qualified in doing all of that. Let us come to our own self. Let Narayana deal with his own problems. The definition is Bhagavan Nigraha eva papaha. Whatever Narayana doesn't like is papam. Definition is clear. Then what are we there? We have done those papams. Now there should be a compensation. Shrihi tat anugraham avahati. The one who sits next to him and notices what all he doesn't like. She sits next. Oh, he doesn't like this. Then she will look at the child, who is us. We are doing what he doesn't like. What she does, that is when Acharya in the commentaries 1000 years back says, Avanai Alagale Tiruttum, Ivanai Anugrahattale Tiruttum. The line is very simple. She has got Bhagavan next to her. She has got her child right in front of her. This child is doing everything against that Bhagavan. So she has to correct the child. Anugrahattale Tiruttum. With her grace, she corrects him. Meanwhile, she has to manage this man. So, Avanai Alagale Tiruttum, when she shows her face to him, he is fascinated with that beauty and he forgets to punish the child. Meanwhile, she corrects the child. So, this is called as Anugraha. So, Bhagavan Nigraha eva papaha, Shrihi tat anugraham avahati, tada nigraho nashtaha, eva ataha haranashila. Look at the definition. So she looks at him, he is mesmerized with her beauty. She knows he has committed sins. As she looks at him and shows the beauty of hers to him, she quietly takes the papams that this little child has committed. The one who is capable of kidnapping or seizing the papams without anybody's notice is called Harini. I'll be rendering discourses in New Jersey, Boston, Maryland, Pittsburgh, and then in St. Louis and Indianapolis in the month of July. I'm sure you would love to share this message with your friends and relatives.